got cancer, did a bunch of fundraisers, got the money, became a heroin addict on the money. We went to Rockstar Rehab, and Evan Dando from the Lemonheads was his roommate. And now he like runs the halfway houses out there that he used to be a part of. Yeah, I don't know why, but the music came back. It's just coming back. It's just coming back. I mean, it just wants to come back.
I have it completely off
Yeah.
of the,
I don't know how that's happening. It's okay. So here's a poem from 26. Because this was not a completed book, it was not even in the file. You know, it never made it to the poetry box. Which, by the way, lives at my ex-wife's house. I would like to get it someday. She's not, keeping it from me. It's just like, we're so chill that it's just like, it's just kind of sitting there. There's a Barca lounger I could get. Also. So sometimes I will say things that I'm like, oh my, maybe didn't want to say that in public or in a published book. Because I just write whatever comes to mind. So. Tray eaters. This looked like a fun one. I grabbed this to write down the list of poets who are going to perform tonight in a stack of not poetry folder. I mean, a poetry, what do I call it? Locker. Books. And I didn't realize, this has a lot of poems in it. Maybe some of them, are publishable. Tray eaters. The year grows long, bang a gong in prefab land, a shopping mall like City Pop. Glancing at a cop, chick with hot eyes. Black and white lies, Lana drinking it up, so to jerk me, officer girl. A Corona Familiar, Resto No More. You car stars shooting, I'm walking in this. You pollute like Putin, woke life bliss, while you suck salads and your friends fail like a yard sale, cheap junk junkie. I'm hunky finding Dory, stop with the ish, y'all bore me. You're trying too hard. I'm taking it to the yard. Sidewalk, city street, honey shuffle feet. Just whatever I was spitting in 2016. Thank you. I had no, but I was like, I kind of do censor a little bit. Like, is this something you need to say? Because I will write a lot of poems for self and not be like, this is going to get back. I'm not letting anyone see this. I just want to write it to write it. A lot of musicians, I know in Nashville, people are just writing stuff. And they have to know some of them are just for fun, or for practice, or for wordsmithery. Let's see what we got here. I don't know how much of this I'm going to read, but there's a couple that I did pull out of here and put in books. And I'll know that because I've said, here's poem 45. Mm-hmm. Here's poem 43. Here's poem 42. This did make books, but somehow, I guess because I didn't use every page. They didn't make it to the poetry locker. 405, slice for you to go chew. Green olives encircle me like so many martinis. Banana, peppers, no box, walk in. Pizza on a plate date, and I'm romancing with myself. Just walking down the road, eating a piece of pizza. Like that. So, Luther Mckinnon is here tonight. Mark J. LaFountain, our book cover designer for Bash, is here tonight. Oh. The lovely and talented, multi-talented Silvia Passiflora is here. Our headliner is Travis Hill. I'm Han Vance. I'm the founder of Little 5 Poetry Bash. I'm not the first person to ever do a poetry thing here. I came to it and it went away, and I was like, hey, can we bring it back? But Rosser Shemansky is my co-host, and he's not feeling great. He never misses, and I was like, I don't even have to dress that nice, because Rosser isn't just crush it. Because he dresses. I dress, but he dresses.
Yeah. His outfits are always one of the highlights.
Oh, one of the few fuckers I don't compete with in fashion. Like, he's gonna go too hard. He's retired. He's gonna have more time. 313 and the Early Out Express is at 355. Speed walk like you used to. Not so easy when you don't do it anymore. Up and in, the breeze complies. Briefly check balance. 0 left. Okay, I'm all right. Downstairs, Bankhead bounce, I think. Any West train. 5 points downstairs, North Springs, I think. Any North train. closely clustered central city stations reach North Avenue, 34 minutes total. Had to wait for the 100 to transfer up and out like I used to. Dads, what if you saw your dead dad glad, sad for him for 50 followed losses of coin tosses coming up tails? And Randy went to Yale. He'd be sticking the heads figuring his luck couldn't always be all bad. What if you loathe loserdom loudly while engaging in it occasionally, like the old man? His mom, my nanny, found her husband floating, having hit his head, boathouse dead. Sad. What if you preached pretentiousness's poisons while engaging in it occasionally, like the old man's old man? And the fucking sea. That's dads. I'd love for someone else to get up here. We have a small crowd tonight. People can go more than once. We may not say the whole time. I don't want Travis to be forced onto the mic right away.
Oh, I'll go.
Our headliner. With Silvia Passiflora, the lovely and multi-talented.
Awesome.
I
Silvia
like going
Passiflora.
first.
Thanks.
Sylvia.
That's not
Passiflora.
important.
It bounced really nicely.
It did. I watched this thing in the machine for about 20 minutes one day.
Really? And it survived.
Yeah,
I'll be damned.
it's a pretty good cover.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this a little different.
And I know you have the van thing stuff, but do you live in Nashville?
I live in my
Hi, Prince. Hi,
van,
people. Thanks for
but I'm
sticking in there.
visiting, So, oh,
Nowhere.
I ended up getting taken care of, which are gonna be my next purchase.
Okay. Yes, I want to serious
okay. So, I just put out an album and submitted it to the Recording Academy for a Grammy. Did you know there's all these different categories? So the I actually submitted in 3 categories, but the one that's relevant here is that they have a category for best spoken word and poetry album. So one of my albums is actually a poetry album where I'm reciting the poem and then I'm playing my instrument at the same time, which is a little different because when I researched who had won in the past, a lot of the poets had, whole bands or, orchestras backing them as they read their poems, but I'm actually playing my instrument as I read. So when we recorded it in the studio, it was just all one takes. So I did all 7 tracks in one session, which is really unusual, but I did it. Because that's actually how I perform it on stage, is just read my poems and play at the same time.
What's the name of the album?
The album is called Florentinae, which is the Latin word plural for the name Florentina, which means to flower, and it's named after my mother. So I actually trademarked that word Florentinae for spoken word concertinas. So, because if you don't trademark your genre, then it often gets appropriated. Like blues was appropriated, hip hop, there's a certain type of performer that you think of for hip hop, but actually it was the underground Latina and queer community that started hip hop. But a lot of that has been erased from the history. So I thought, well, I'll get ahead of the curve and trademark my own genre so that I get to say that it's spoken word concertinas and not some other thing that gets appropriated and commercialized. So anyway, but I write a poem a day at least. That's how I wake up and I write a poem, and I have a whole catalog now that's getting close to 1,000 poems. And they're all cataloged and they're all numbered under allpoetry.com /Silvia _Passiflora. So I like to number them because it keeps me going and keep writing, because I'm like, oh, I'm at 9:58. Well, if I write 2 more, I'll be at 9:60. And then actually I looked at how many more days are left in the year. So to make 1,000 poems, I'd have to write like 40 more poems, but there's like 80 days left in the year, so I am gonna make 1,000. So anyway, this first poem is, I started writing poems about my house. And so I just, I like to write in a series, in a theme. So this, I have a whole bunch of house poems. And I even forgot what I called it because I cut it off. This one is about my couch. It wasn't meant to stay on its way to the garage. The old couch made a layover in the dining room, just for now, just until, and then never left. The dining table went instead, that shrine of formal dinners and half-finished projects, a reminder that gathering often came with expectation, matching china and napkins. Now, there's the couch. And suddenly, everyone sits longer, talks with their legs folded, plates balanced on knees. Someone lies down while the dishes get done. No one says it outright, but we all feel it. Something has softened the architecture of our days. Shifted a little to make room to rest, where once there was only performance. It's not just the couch anymore. It's proof that comfort can be central, that the heart of the house is wherever you are most yourself. Who needs a dining table? I mean, dining tables are so outdated now, right? And then I'll do one more poem, and then if there's time, I'll come back at the end. So this is my follow-up to that.
I like that, Sylvia.
Right?
Our themes are, especially when you talk about like your mom's things, your grandma's, our themes are, they have a meaning.
So this next one is the follow-up. Now the dog has claimed it too, curled in the center like a comma, reminding me that punctuation matters, that a pause can be a whole sentence. That softness can be central and still hold the weight of the day.
Awesome.
Thank you, I'm Silvia Passiflora. You can find me on Instagram.
Awesome. I'll grab Trav. I'll do the second. Silvia, thank you so much. Let's give a big round of applause for Silvia Passiflora. She's a singer, songwriter, musician, poet. She's a painter, illustrator. Would you say painter? You're definitely an illustrator.
Illustrator.
Yeah, more of an illustrator, but she's an visual artist. She lives her art. I've been on this journey with Silvia, not really in the band, unfortunately, but I'm available. Seeing her blossom into this artsy expression, because I've known you the years that you've gone to this, like, not that you weren't doing any art before that, but you're like movement of where you moved to Nashville, you started living on the band. It's fun to watch. And do you chef at all anymore?
No.
No, yeah, but I knew you were a chef.
I know when my Facebook memories pops up, I'm like, wow,
I was a chef. Yeah.
lots happened.
I was a regional manager for General Electric. Don't let any cook that motherfucker do that shit. I'm gonna spit one more time. Does someone want to go before Travis? As Travis, you kind of want to just you kind of just ready to rock.
I'm ready for one, yeah.
Chomping at the bit. Are you gonna do some poems, my friend?
I am, if you let me.
I would love to. What's your name?
Stephen Wing. Just call me
Stephen.
Wing.
Wing.
Yeah.
The wingman is here, guys. Start being scattered. Oh my. Oh, because I'm reading poems from the book that I'm writing the list out of. I kind of know. I think that's just going to be one of the pages of the book. If I fill it up, I can stick it in the poetry locker if I go by my ex-wife's house. Right, Luther? If I head by my ex-wife's house, I can just stick it. What are you doing here? Just filing some poems. Take care. 54 in a week. None kiss your cheek. Watching Orville Peck. Super gay cowboy jam. Him, not me. I'm just getting to know new me at the end of an era as they walk on by. The years, friends fade away. Fall into new states. Silver states of mind, maybe. They bet on themselves and lost. Or phase iterations phase them. Shell of a man type remains. Dust yourself off. Shake this cough. Take and make myself better. It's amazing the progress one can make when one really applies himself. Han. That was to me. I was trying to quit doing so much drugs and alcohol and laziness. This job has been good for me, I said in 2017. Nick Cave said, dig yourself, after he wasn't so good looking. And me, retargeting free for 13 minutes, so I had a tequila sunrise while glancing right toward the blue sky, waiting on my guy, my gay, my boss. I took a promotion without full devotion for any company not called Vance. I took a chance on management again. Based on not doing too much different than I was already, out of job necessity, just to do well, pretty, at what I was doing. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesdays stay solo, Han. Weekends and evenings are for family, man. But a plan is a plan, a man is a man, and men work, writers write, to an audience too. I, in one essence, didn't do shit for years, Luther Mckinnon. Then I pumped out 3 book releases in a year and a half. Because I was writing books, and I wasn't getting them published. They're like, all right, that was a good book. It took me fucking 8 years, but they're in there. My stepbrother, former kind of, because our parents long weren't together, would really, he's the author of 4 or 5 books. He was one of the people that talked to me when I started doing this. And he would write a book with a good one, edited, with absolutely no intention of anyone. He didn't want no one, he didn't care whether he wrote it or not. He didn't care. It's like this complex, he was a war historian too, complex war story about war, like Slaughterhouse-Five level book. Now to read, I'm like, holy shit, this is really fucking good. Yeah, but I ain't fucking with no agents, no fucking pushy people or whatever. I just want to go to my restaurant job and be a cook. What are you working on now? Oh, a couple other books. I got the prequel to this one. I've got this other series I'm developing. Just, he wanted to fucking do it. And I was like, not at all like that. I came from a commercial background. But as the years wear on, oh boy, do we have a lot in common. Even though my books come out, they come out. They have a medium-sized audience. Not medium in the commercial sense. They come out there. And I'm happy and it's good. But I started to understand what he meant, and people will write like one book, not so much poetry, because they're probably not going to be rich on this. But they'll write one book, like a narrative book, and think, how do I get it? I want to be on Oprah, but how do I get rich? And I go to all these writers, I used to go to a lot of writers' conferences, go to New York, and I would even write about writers' conferences for Writers Digest. And I'm like, you don't, man, sorry. The same way, every musician at an open mic is not going to be, in the Country Music Hall of Fame. You might, but if you're doing it to do it and love it and have fun with doing it, I say fucking do it. I mean, I have 6 published books, I have a couple in the works, I say just fucking do it. I'm not discouraged, because I wasn't an artist like a Tom Cheshire or a Travis, and I was such a big fan of art, so for me, part of it that I ended up realizing a lot of the real reward was, hey, I found myself as an artist when I was 35. I was young, I was like, fuck, I could do some kind of art. That's kind of cool. So I love that shit. This is my debut poetry book. We won a National Poetry Award. I was hot one day. The Harriet Austin Poetry Award at the Harriet Austin Writers Conference in Athens, which is not a UGA thing, it's like a big writers conference. She's deceased, Harriet, but she was a big writer advocate. Had the first writers conference in Georgia, probably the biggest one in the Southeast back then, if not. But I've been kind of like finishing my book, Golden State Misadventures, my narrative book. Finishing the first manuscript of it, which is when you finally get a whole fucking book. not perfect, but you go, dude, it's like having a baby. Only it took 3 years. You could have had 3 babies. Sitting there one time, it was sitting on the table, and I was like, kind of reminded me of where I need a girlfriend. And the corner of my eye just glanced and caught in that big pile of papers that was the manuscript in progress, and I was like, "Do you have one?" That was it. When I finished it, I hugged it and laid on the ground and cried for like 3 hours. That was just finishing the first manuscript. That wasn't when it came out. That was from 05 to 08. Meanwhile, I was writing poetry and ended up, actually a lady I was doing some straight businessy stuff with was a poet. She's like, you should write poetry, just do word practice stuff. It's like, fuck it, I'll try. It ended up being like, this is kind of good, some of it. And I was going to these writers' conferences. Originally, I started going to the Writers' Digest ones in New York, ones, the bigger ones, but I was just going to the one in Athens. And the first time I went, I met the guy who ended up being my editor, which was great. He's still a buddy of mine, Mckinnon. He's how I met all the New York people, how I wrote for Writers' Digest. The second time, I had been living alone really meagerly. Like, all I did for recreation was eat mushrooms, which grew out there, and skateboard. All I did was write, eat mushrooms, and skateboard. And unless I had my kids' sons. You know, that day I didn't trip. I went over there, and I was like super fit, just because I skateboarded. I'd skateboard up to 8 hours a day. And just think, and then go right, think, go right, think, go right. But I started like, some of these poems are okay. Let me submit this for some feedback, in addition to my book, which was getting submitted for some feedback and meet agents and stuff. Never mind. But when I was going in to get the review of the thing, there was this really tall, pretty girl, and I was like, hey, she's like husky voice. I was like, what is that? What is that? I ended up having a long distance relationship with her. She'd been on the cover of Vogue and Elle. Her name was Noelle Mazur. She's from Springfield, Illinois. A beautiful model. I was like so cold. And one day I got hot. I went in there and I was like, you know, I'm kind of nervous about this. This poetry isn't ready. And she's like, you won the grand prize. You have just won a national poetry prize, sir. We noticed you aren't going to the dinner. I couldn't afford the dinner. The dinner was like $40. They're like, you're going to be on stage with Harriet. We need you to like come to the dinner. Do we need to buy you the dinner? You're getting a $500 check. You're going to be up on stage. And the Poetry Slam tonight, you're going to headline it. I was like, well, I was planning to come to that. But I literally couldn't afford it. I was just going to go drink in Athens and eat like tacos. But isn't that something? That was my one hot day. I was hot for a day. She and I were walking across campus, kind of getting to know each other. We went to my friend's bar. He was like swallowed his tongue when he saw her. I was like, I won the Grand Prize Poetry Award. In my mind, I envisioned I had a big check for $500 that I was carrying around and a single model. But I just really just had her. And she's like, oh, they're dancing. Do you want to go dance up there? So I went over there with her, and I go, she goes, oh, have you danced before? I used to be a club kid. So she's like, you ever dance? Do you know? And it was like ATL hip hop, so I'm killing it. She was a like New York supermodel, well, big model, lived in a model house and all this stuff. She's dancing. It's too good to be true. This day is just too good to be true. She left me. Couldn't find her. She had blown out her leg and was laying on the floor under me. Yeah. Things just take a twist sometimes. Ended up having to like, she's 6'2". Ended up like having to like help her all the way to the other side of campus in UGA back to her hotel. That was the start of our relationship. Just some things in life are just bizarre, aren't they, Whitman? That was when, and then I went back to just me and the thing, do mushrooms, skate ride. Trees, any of us Atlantans that leaves, even briefly, says, the trees. As soon as I return to the sacred crest, urban forest, this royal green earth that is the city, my city. I love this fucking place because of the trees. And you people. Coming to the Little Fun Poetry Bash stage, Luther Mckinnon.
All right.
And then our headliner, Travis Hill. And then Wing, Mark, and then figure it out. Sound good? All right. Travis, go as long as you want. But you can even go for a while, let someone go, and then go. You should sit.
Since it's just a few of us, I'm gonna. Is this going through?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can
this
hear
is
you.
good.
You can hear this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, I'm just gonna sit down, because this is, there's just a few of us. A few weeks ago, I was reading this post. Somebody, he was talking about some superstar preacher that had a son that wasn't quite as holy as he was, and this commenter was talking about what a shame it was, and he was talking about the lifestyle of his son, and he used the word orgies. And there was a link to it, and I clicked on the link, and I came to a passage in 1 Peter 4, book 4, and I decided that that would be a good point. For the time past of our life may suffice to have wrought the will of the Gentiles, when we walked in lasciviousness, lusts, excess of wine, revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries. They think it strange that ye run not, excess of riot, speaking evil of you, who shall give account to him that is ready to judge the quick and the dead.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah, I've always thought that the religious leaders of our tribe have done us a great disservice by labeling the Bible as a holy book, and that we're supposed to put under a microscope and determine what it means instead of enjoying it for the beauty of it. And there are a lot of passages that are really nice. This thing I'm about to do, I finished it yesterday afternoon. I've been struggling with it, and it's probably going to be some changes. I haven't done the pictures yet, so there's going to be, some of the lines are probably going to change, but this is this poem where it stands now. Gonna be free from the river to the sea. Sacrifice Gaza for Israel's gain. Palestinians have a right to be. Hasbara corruption catastrophe. The Donald riding APAC gravy train. Gonna be free from the river to the sea. Bloody genocidal reality. Syria going down Al-Qaeda drain. Palestinians have a right to be. Toxic misinformation tsunami. Humanitarian foundation stain. Gonna be free from the river to the sea. White phosphorus responsibility. Zionist propaganda hurricane. Palestinians have a right to be. Murder the children and report to Bibi. Recreational hypocrisy brain. Gonna be free from the river to the sea. Palestinians have a right to be. Hope IDF doesn't come looking for me on the way home. And this one is out of the D-list files. Chartreuse, juniper, butterfly taffy. Love for him blowing up like a balloon. Coroner fondles Muammar Gaddafi. Imbecile monster from the deep lagoon. Unforgiving sidewalk, funeral dirge. Survivor of a terrible bloody day. Give to messant prey a bloody surge. Smug little voice demanding combat pay. It was a dark and purple stormy night, trying to outlive petty vegan girl, illuminated by ambient light in the noisy gloom of the diva pearl. Trying to outlive petty vegan girl, ending her addiction to soap operas in the noisy gloom of the diva pearl. Bad puns working like emetic vodkas. Ending her addiction to soap operas illuminated by ambient light. Bad puns working like emetic vodkas. It was a dark and purple, stormy night. And thank you, this nice, fine facility for hosting, for putting up with us. And thank you, Han, for keeping this show running. And get well soon, Rosser. The thrift stores need your business.
All right, coming up next is going to be Travis. I found a really edgy, crazy poem that I do want to share. That is an exact example of what you wouldn't share, just to illustrate my point. Wings out. They said, fuck this, maybe. Worship superfood washed with booze. Lose, lose, lose your hard friends or soft rot. Dead or over. Do you copy? Bob blows and coke dealers are half-human vultures. Culture crutchers. Your hole is gold. They've gone back inside their pussy-ass nonsense of obligation, ovation, vacation, vacated void. No cheering. See, when you heart thump be. I'm going to get that again. I can't read my writing. Your hole is gold. They've gone back inside their pussy-ass nonsense of obligation, ovation, vacation, vacated void, no cheering. See, when your heart thump be ripped out weekly, over and over again, and over again, my friends. The few of you clinging to your sofas, grasping for air, see you there over the edge. Hedge your bets, you American sheds. Crumbling facades, my false gods gone, like the leader of the Eagles. I hate the fucking Eagles. Some dude once said, you know what? Fuck him too. Santa Barbara phony intellectual actor. The hippies lost. The hippies lost. It's 1980, baby, and I'm 10 years old and heartbroken son because my dad is a piece of shit, basically. And my mom can't care enough. Hit the pipe, bitches. Life is tough. And as a lady I know once said, dear poetry, fuck off. I miss you. Laura Carter said that, the Atlanta poet. And she said, dear poetry, fuck off. And I was like, yes.
That's wild.
Don't fuck off when Travis Hill's on the mic, though. And don't tell anyone I said that. Except for the hippies lost. That part was funny. You guys catch that? That's a Big Lebowski stuff. You ever seen the movie The Big Lebowski? I've only seen that several hundred times. But yeah, he had said, I hate the fucking Eagles in the cab. And the cab driver threw him out on the side of the road in Malibu. That's how he ended up locked up in Malibu. Travis Hill.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Han.
Thanks, sir.
So, first thing I wanted to do was commend everyone on their mic control this evening. Mic control is important if you want to be heard. I'm not going to give you specific advice because that would be stylistic, but I do recommend that you get heard if you're at a poetry reading. It's pretty much the point. So, poetry, for me, was kind of where it all started at. I'm a bit of an artist, although I rarely say that because I don't know about you guys, but that feels really pretentious when it comes out of your mouth, right? But the fact is, I can't stop. I can't stop doing this. I started scribbling when I was a kid, stuff like that. When I can remember when I was like in 3rd grade and I was first allowed to have sleepovers and stuff like that, I specifically remember organizing my friends in a creative writing session so that we would write and then share stories. And looking back, I can't believe that they were all right with that. But that was me. So like I said, I started out doing this and I couldn't stop. I think when I found poetry, I realized that I could organize what the thoughts that I had that seemed random to me, but were often consequential in other ways that I could relate in my life. And so what I had written down at one point that might have seemed like something random, or I often use the word cheesy because it's my feelings. It feels cheesy to me. I don't know about anyone else. Just talk and be authentic and represent how I really feel, because I really care about people and stuff like that, but most people don't ever say things like that. But what I found was that when I go back to look at things that I wrote down many years ago, that I've learned wisdom. And that's something I didn't appreciate at all when I was young. But now I look back at things that I wrote a long time ago. And for example, I met this young lady, Chris, when I was in high school. And when I was in high school, I was surviving child molestation, and no one knew about it. And so it occurred when I was in junior high school. By the way, I'm going to talk about some things that make people very uncomfortable, because that's why I'm here. That's pretty much what I do. Not to make you uncomfortable, but quite the opposite, to let people know that we're not alone. No matter how odd what you've been through might have been, you're not the only one. And you don't ever find this out until you start communicating with other people. Until you start sharing with other folks, you don't realize that you're just never alone. That's a falsehood. So when I was a teenager in high school, like I said, when I met Miss Chris, I was a full-blooded anarchist. I totally resisted authority. I was a mohawk wearing, shave your own head, Doc Martin if I could afford them, jump boots if I couldn't, kind of kid. I would basically wear a style until it wasn't stylish and then wear cutoffs of that same style the next year. My dad made me shave my head, and I can remember when I was a kid, and I punished him for that for quite some time with a lot of really, really odd haircuts. That were of my own design. By the way, I'm wearing this hat because go dogs. And that's
Jack, go! Go, Pack, go!
you know.
I don't know what that is.
But
Let me say one thing about that. The same guy designed both of those logos and separately, without telling him, sold them to both institutions at the same time.
that's very interesting.
Yeah, why does it look just like the Packers?
That's why I liked that it was black. We
Yeah.
didn't have to fight about it.
I'm not against Green Bay. I just lived near there for a little while, and it's super cold up there, and I'm from here. Like you were talking about earlier about trees. You lived up there for a while too, and I used to call Illinois the land of eternal darkness because it's basically gray all the time. Every once in a while the sun comes out, but that's usually when it's 40 below, and it's so cold that there's no longer any evaporation to put any moisture in the air. So that's my bit about Illinois. So back to the point at hand. As an anarchist, I wrote this right here. This was in 1991. It's called Artificial. Artificial flowers. These are the only things that don't fit into the food chain. Organic. Even when you're alive, you're classified as food. You're just an easier catch when you're dead. Even diseases don't eat dead people. So,
It's true.
that's a bit of
I like that one.
stark truth and teenage. So I think teenage me was on to some stuff, and sometimes it was wisdom. Other times I was just really, really, really mad.
This is a cute name for a little book or album. This, what was it? Stark Truth and Teenage Wisdom.
Yeah. The over the years, you gain wisdom by doing the wrong thing. Sometimes you gain wisdom by doing the right thing, but I don't know about y'all, but that's not real common in my life. I learned mostly by doing the wrong thing, but furthermore by not stopping at that point, right? By continuing to go. One of the most difficult times I can think of that I've had doing that is when I've lost a friend. And I've lost a lot. I wouldn't compare to anyone. I'm not trying to compare myself to how many someone else has lost. I've got friends that are soldiers and veterans, so it's not a comparison game. But I've had an awful lot of friends commit suicide. I've had to deal with it my entire life. I think I was in grade school the first time it happened. So that's the kind of thing you can't really wrap your brain around. Grief, as insane as it is, that particular kind of grief is not something you can just sit and understand. In my experience, I should say I couldn't sit and understand it. So poetry is an interesting way to write down some of these things that you don't think you can express. Often when I write them, I have no intention of sharing them. Actually, pretty much never. I don't write poetry to share. I share what I've written, but like you said, with 30,000 poems, that's not written so that you could share them with the world. There's not enough time to do all that.
It's hard to just read them.
The fact is, sometimes you just can't contain what's inside you. So this one's called Forever and a Day. In memories unafraid, she watches over me. Time is strange, and spending it without you here is hell. I often dream of the days gone by, the memory of the fall. It takes me back to drive these streets forever and a day. I write these words in memory of the dozens I have known who cut short their trip and ended it while I chose to go on. I'm strengthened now, without within, and your name's on a stone. In memories unafraid, she watches over me.
I hate the suicide, man.
Suicide is
It's hard to fucking. You can't wrap your head around it.
if I'm not careful when I lose a friend that way, I can get so angry I put my foot right in my mouth. And then generally within a week or two after that, I feel really stupid. So I don't typically share that with anyone when I'm going through something like that, you know. But I can share it now. And like I said, I want people to know that they're not alone with the things that they go through. One of the things that we've been talking about tonight is God. The first time I came here to this poetry reading, I was very nervous because for quite some time now, I'm not really able to share without talking about God. I will tell you that I believe that we can win a lot more souls by opening the book than we can by beating people over the head with it. You gotta open the book or you're not gonna get the point. Furthermore, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me or anybody else would be my advice. Read it. To open it up. I like how you said appreciate the beauty in it. Just look at it. For yourself completely. If you want to go back and learn history and stuff like that, that's great, or whatever. But I think if you want somebody's perspective, you pretty much want to hear from them. And then you can take that as you will. So I used to be in a metal band. Still would be if we weren't so old, probably. Health issues and stuff like that. And also, I'm not very angry anymore. So it's a little bit more difficult to come up with themes when it comes to heavy metal. And even at the time, I was working my way into management, and life was going pretty well. So I wasn't going to write metal songs about that, you know. So I thought back to my childhood, because there's definitely some things that made me the way I am and gave me the wisdom, a little bit of it that I've got. And so this song, Second Chance, the guys had already written this song. And we came up with the name Dichotomy because this was not a Christian band. I was a Christian they had decided they liked the way I sang, and I was the singer in the band. But they weren't going to let me start writing songs about Jesus for their metal band. That wasn't going to go down, you know. So I had to be a little bit more creative about stuff. And so they had this real heavy song, and I came up with this. And let's see if you can catch the metaphor, or parable, if you will. Well, I swear to God, I don't remember dying. Just woke up here and knew it all gone wrong. She left me there with no tears left for crying. I guess I should have known it all along. For 3 dark days the sun gave up its rising. The angels over me did sing their song. Roll away the stone. I told myself it's all over but the dying. And now I wash away all that you have done wrong.
I love some poems. I love concise.
Well, I'm going to close with this one and maybe give somebody else the mic. Because there's not a whole lot of us, but I want to hear your perspectives. I like listening and not just talking all the time. So this one's about Atlanta. I'm not really from Atlanta. I was born in Decatur, more of a Stone Mountain kid. So east side or whatever, and been a country boy about half of my life by choice. Mostly because I have anxiety, but I like when I come to the city. Speaking of anxiety, on that note, I was talking earlier about sharing and how we have to overcome things that we've been through. And so when I was in high school, I discovered a very interesting thing. And as a musician, I've played in a lot of bands. I've been on a lot of stages. I've played in front of thousands of people. I've played in front of 3 people. And after a while, there's not a lot of difference. Playing at church was kind of strange, believe it or not. After thousands of people, church was way harder. But I got used to that too. The thing about it is, like I was saying earlier, if you don't share, you're only doing half of it. You got to reach out, in my opinion, and find other people, brothers and sisters that you can commune with and talk to about things that you've been through. And so I would just encourage all of you to express yourself. And I may be just one person, but I can tell you I'll listen to you. You know. And so your fear that nobody's listening is incorrect. And as far as judgment goes, I'm not qualified at all, period. I can't even judge myself, much less you guys. I don't work like that. So I'll tell you one thing that occurred to me not too long ago about judging, and my qualification is to judge. It was a windy day. You know, the leaves are starting to fall outside. I noticed the leaves were falling across the yard, you know, and they come across. Flag was blowing on the front porch, and the wind chimes were beginning to chime, make noise. Generally, my wind chimes are really heavy, so generally when I hear that, it's a storm coming, right? But I was sitting there on the porch, and I was just thinking about, like, judgment. It came up in some of the scripture I was reading. But I was thinking about how unqualified I feel to judge other people. When people worry about us judging them, and I don't go there really. I don't feel like I'm on solid ground when it comes to judging any of you or where you've been or what you're going through, because I've been through some shit. I'm going to go ahead and use that word, right? Because that's appropriate. I think everyone has that. Everyone has that. Everyone can relate to that, right? And you come through it, and you just try to share with people. And so I want to encourage you to share with people, because there are people listening. There are people who care. It's just sometimes it's hard to talk. You know, sometimes it's hard to reach out. So if you're willing to start it, those conversations can happen, and you can share with people. And you don't have to bear it alone. So with that, I'll read a poem. This is a breakup poem, but I'm the only one that knows that. So that's kind of where I'm going with what I'm talking about with sharing and writing. When it comes, like if I go to meetings sometimes. Does anybody in here know what I mean by meetings without me saying what I mean by meetings, right? So I go to meetings sometimes, and when I share at meetings, right, that's totally different than what I'm doing now, but I'm being just as authentic now as I would be there, right? And so this is a breakup poem, but to you guys, it's a poem about Atlanta. So it's called As It Burns. As I watch Atlanta fade in the rearview mirror, seen through darkened glass, driving away from her, driving away as it burns. As the flames of sunset envelop the city, she crawls through my broken dreams and into my mind again. She crawls as it burns. Burns on the back of my eyes. From gazing too long at the sun, I've led myself in circles, right back where I've begun. 285. And I can't help but laugh as it burns. Thanks, y'all.
Amazing, heartfelt. I like your candid talk, and I just one thing I know about you is like you, Tom, and me are one. Like we're kindred spirits. We really are, aren't we?
Yeah.
We don't do the same things. I definitely don't do it.
No.
But we're that's where we had that. Like I think this is the third or second time I've ever hung out with you. We've talked a lot.
I think it's the
Maybe the third time I've ever hung out with you in person. And I know you're drawn. A lot of people are drawn to Tom.
Yeah.
But they aren't Toms. But you are. You're a Tom. Flip a switch. I like the dark. I like the calmness of it. The tranquility. I often leave all the lights off when I'm home alone. Especially if I'm not busy. I do not resist it. I go into it. I let it submerge my brain. I calm myself. Or it calms me. When I'm calm, and it is mostly dark, just natural dark daylight, I feel comfortable. I feel like I'm turned way down, and it's a good place to be for an hour, or a half hour, or a few hours, and then I flip a switch on the wall, in me, and I'm back. Wing, first time, have you been here?
No.
Wing's first time at the Little Five Poetry Backstage. The Wingman with the Ginsberg shirt. Please keep coming, bro. Atlanta Poetry Collective, January 1982. Are you single, sir?
You'll have to ask my wife.
I get down like that, bro.
Well, I've been had this on my calendar every month for quite a while. I finally made it. I lived for 33 years about a mile from here. Last fall, I just moved to Clarkston. So it's a little more of a truck, but I made it. I'm glad you all are here too.
How did you find out about it or see it?
I
You
can't
remember? Like a Facebook
remember,
thing or something?
but it's been pretty steady, so it's been on my calendar. And I got to apologize. I need to get to a certain store by 10 o'clock.
It's okay.
Can't
It's
stay.
8:29, so you only have an hour and 31 minutes to read.
Okay. Appreciate the time check. As a calendar check, we started an open mic at the Lake Claire Community Land Trust
I know what
across the street, and it's the last last Wednesday of every month. However, that conflicts with a couple of holidays coming up. So hopefully, if I see you on October 23rd, I can get you on the email list and you can keep up with what the dates are going to be through the holidays. If not, I'll be back here, hopefully, and
You know David Jockish?
sure, I know David.
He's a family friend, good friend.
Yeah, mine too. What's your name?
Han Vance, I'm one of the Vances. We've been married at it. He has like my photos.
I'll mention
Yeah,
that.
I'm like, I don't know, you know, back in the day.
Yeah, I'm gonna see him in November, so I'll mention it. I have a book called Washed in the Hurricane, which is the collection of all my poems related to nature themes, going back to '92 when my first book came out.
Did you hold the cover up? See it?
Pardon?
I see that cover.
Washed in the Hurricane. It has three sections. One is poems about wilderness, one is poems about nature as the human habitat, which is all around us and under us and over us all the time. And then a section of poems about climate change. But I'm gonna read one poem from that, but first I'm gonna read this poem, which is in the book I'm working on now, which is a similar collection of all my poems that have a political theme going back to when that book came out in '92. And this is called Blessed Are the Undocumented. Night and day, the chemical plumes and industrial effluents slip unnoticed across the borders that people are forbidden to cross. All night, the travelers track the pole star across the desert. All day, they hide from the homicidal sun. High above them, a river of migrating butterflies points the way. Ahead of them, a broad, shallow barricade of brown water bars their path. So many have awakened from the dream of freedom in that border's nightmare grip. So many have died of dehydration, thirsting for the shimmer of a mirage. On the other side of the border, malignant tumors and arterial plaque stalk the vigilante evangelists in their easy chair. Politicians preach the gospel of the lynch mob from a pulpit constructed entirely of indigenous bones. The field workers toil all day between the irrigation ditches, while the weed killer drifts across in clouds and washes steadily out of the fields into the rivers. The bosses lie awake at night, dreaming of the day when the field hands will labor for nothing on both sides of the river.
Yeah,
I thought that was fine.
Definitely.
All right, and this is from Washington Hurricane from the second section. It's called Man Breathing Life into Metal. The saxophonist wets his lips and caresses his mouthpiece, sucks it in and lets it escape, then draws it back into himself so its dark, twisting entrails join with his own. Clamps the dormant light of that gleaming muscle in his fingertips and forces through its thin lips from his own the infinite compression of a breath. The golden bell sings out with the panic of inarticulate matter, waking to the agony it is to be an animal, the joy it is to move and speak and sing. Now when I get through playing it, it's going to be just as warm as my blood. Thank you. And I have one more. This is my newest, just from the other day. It's called The Edge is Near. Did you hear the news? Explorers have finally found the edge of the world. Their sleek, steel-hulled ships, bristling with state-of-the-art electronics and weaponry, plunged over the brink into free fall. The radio message that came back was exuberant. Follow us, it exclaimed, between long bursts of static. We are fully confident that when we hit bottom, wherever we land, your investment in our expedition will make us rich beyond measure, and quite possibly you as well. A storm of static swallowed the rest, whatever it was. Some of us still wait breathlessly, huddled around the radio. A few of us discreetly wonder if it's a good idea to follow them, wherever it is they've gone. But it doesn't matter now. It's too late to turn back. We've already launched our ships, and the shores we left behind are unfortunately overrun with raging wildfires, tornadoes, pandemics, and hurricanes. It's kind of a parable too, isn't it? All right, thank you so much. I'm glad I finally made it here.
What were those, what was on the other side of those pages that they were printed on?
I just printed on the backs of whatever I have. I have a lot of paper saved up that's still.
I mean, I was just saying that sometimes that's an important part of it. I mean, one time I recycled a fundraising letter from Donald Trump by printing a poem on the other side of it.
Well, notice you got stuff on the back of yours too.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Was that accidental or?
That was, I mean, it's recycling.
Okay.
I mean, you only need one side of the paper.
Right. But sometimes there's meaning in the obverse.
Yeah, sometimes there is a unintentional message.
Yeah, there's a lot of random meaning out there.
It's a synchronicity.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I have a lot of found poetry that I picked up.
I love found art in general. My favorite is my, I don't know, I have a lot of it, I just really admire it. There was actually this electricity box thing, the door had fallen off on Ponce. I was still gonna get it. It was still, I'm gonna grab it. And I kind of moved it so it wouldn't like puncture someone's back tire, specifically mine. But then later on, the next passage, I was like, it's kind of pretty. You know, it's like graffiti on it, and like city thing.
Well, I used to be a hitchhiker, and I have a lot of found art that I picked up.
Found art and found poetry is cool.
Yeah.
Found art is the best. You know, they used to have free art Fridays in Atlanta, which was more organized found art. It wasn't like where you find something and go, this is art. It was actual artists would put out art on Fridays. But I worked in the coffee house business at the time, and I'd walk everywhere and bike everywhere. Back then, I just walked everywhere, speed walk everywhere. I did it for 10 years. I mean, like Olympic pace. They're like, do you ever worry about getting robbed? I'm like, maybe about some fast motherfuckers.
Is there,
I'm like,
is there a button on here that turns it into a lightsaber? Like,
that was great. Let's give another round of applause for the wing. And I would go out on Fridays. A lot of it was on Highland, on Ponce, and Candler, and I kind of knew where a lot of the artists were putting it. But I would be walking to work at a coffee house at like, 4:45 in the morning. And it might have been out till, 9, walking around. And they went out and put it out. I didn't do a lot of night timing in that phase. But they would put their art out, and I would often, I think too often, find it. Because I would be the first motherfucker out. And I was looking for it. I'd be like, it's Friday. I'd do it. So I started doing it. This is an opposite of a brag. I kind of did it competitively. I'd be like, haha, motherfuckers, I found the art. Yeah, fuck everybody. It's not very nice. That was just kind of my sport in it. I was like, I'm winning Free Art Friday. And my, now ex-wife was like, Jamie, who Silvia has, was like, that's not the purpose of this. I was like, then why do I have 13 pieces and no one has any? I had so much. Because they're losers and I'm a champion. So I ruined Free Art Fridays. Sorry, guys. If you ever want to see my free art collection, though, come on over. I've given a lot of it away. I do see free art around sometimes, but it's not this. It was hashtag. That was the first time I actually learned what a hashtag was. Hashtag FAFATL. Just like in the MySpace. You know what I mean? Just when Facebook first came out. Hashtags first came out off Twitter, and now they're everywhere. But I didn't know. I was like, what is this? And this Free Art Friday Atlanta. That's the kind of thing that should be brought back. Because I sleep in. Don't worry, guys. I get up. I'm only up at like 6:45 now. You have a 2-hour window where you might find a piece. Teaching school. Silvia, do you want to come back up here in a minute? Not really. Yeah, you really are fine though. So I have a book. It's an unblemished, relatively unblemished book. Reinvent. It's my last poetry release. Available. Came out in 2019. On the back is a collection of Atlanta-influenced poets on the B side, called Silverstone Press Presents 2. I will sell this. I'll sell it cheap, but or trade something for it. But the reason I show this is we're doing Bash. We're doing a book, and we'd love to have you in it, Wing. It's just going to be a compilation. It's a collection of anyone who's performed at Little Five Poetry Bash is eligible to be in it. We are asking for a contribution, but you get books for, you have to pay right now. You get books for, you prepay a little bit, you get books for it. We're trying to kind of fundraise to get it done. But on A side is going to be 50/54. This came out in 2019. My next book of poetry is coming out. I have a medium-sized audience, so you will get readers just on the fact that it's on the side of Han Vance's book. And if you've had books published, it's cool to just be in a collection with other people. If you haven't, it is a way to be published. That's cool. Our book cover is badass as fuck. I chose Mark J. Fountain to do the book cover. It's not straight up and down. It's like that. And it just kind of says Bash like backwards. It's fucking job. Here you go. Actually. It's definitely, not mainstream corporate. That says Bash. Right there. And it's going to be that way. It is going to have a barcode on it. Tom Cheshire and I first did this. I got the idea of kids' books. I designed this cover off of other people's art that I had done of me and of Tom that I designed the cover in. It literally has no back, has no front. But you go in like a bookstore, I'd put my book out and go in a bookstore and I would only see Tom. or I'd go in a place that people would buy Tom's book, and I'd only see me. And there's no barcode. Even the spine is completely reversible. This is definitely art, but it was a marketing problem. So we're doing it like this one, where I'm gonna get the spine, I'm gonna get the thing, and it's gonna be my 4th book of poetry and 7th published book. The last book was on the dog. It was a 378 book called George's Lumber and Glory. And I'm excited about this project. Sylvia, I don't know if you've heard about it because I know you come and go and around, but we'd love to have you give some poems and kick in. You can get in for as little as $50. I think $50 you get 3 books when it comes out. And if you give $100 you get 7 books when it comes out. Those are just the 2 tiers. But Rosser is managing the finances. I'm going to manage the physical production of the book, which is a lot of fucking work. I've done it before, but it's a lot of fucking work, especially with multiple writers. And you got to have the spine, the barcode, the cover art, the formatter, the ISBN number, find the printer, make sure they do it, pay half the printer, get the other half, get him to it. It's some stuff. It's worth it though to get this art out. I'm really excited about having Bash be immortalized this way. So has everyone had a chance to read? Mark, you haven't read it yet, have you? I'm hoping we can get this out pretty soon. Let me find one more random poem to read, and then we'll get you up here, Mark. But if anyone's interested, let me know. Or do you just want to straight up trade? Need cash?
I'll think about it.
No, that's fine. If you don't have many, keep it. I have had notebooks in print for so long that it's become like they go for about 90 on the secondary market, but it's also like beyond the value that they are. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like, I'm not gonna charge you $90 for a Han Vance book. I got this from my mom's house where I found the stack of them. Let's read one more poem. Mark's gonna go, and then Travis, did you kind of want to go again?
Sure.
Or not again?
Either way, I'll do something to close.
And Wayne, did you want to get back up here, maybe? Or not really?
Sure.
Okay, cool. We're sort of, but not really trying to fill time. It's 8:45. We're not going until 10, I don't think, but we're gonna go for a while. Sylvia, do you remember the one time it was just me, you, and Rosser in there? But we still filled the whole time. You and I just like did like a Led Zeppelin concert. Remember that? I think it was a little shorter window, but we still went, whatever. So they would just put us in there, which is good when you have a crowd because we can fill it up with the seats, but it was just like, it was windy and cold, I think, that night, and we were just kind of starting out. And we'd had some decent turnouts. And lately we've had really good turnouts. This is a smaller one, but we've had some good turnouts. And I want to think of a way to get more young people here and get some newer blood in and get some people here, but y'all have had so much on my mind with the school year back and teaching these children. And as a substitute teacher, a lot of the work is in finding the work every day. Then you got to find where it is. I bike to all the schools, super fit. And I'm like, I'm so fit. I've been working at like the top of Atlanta and the bottom of Atlanta. I bike. Just like, it's getting there 7 in the morning. I come in with so much energy, so much love energy. But if you catch me at like 1:40, I'm like, fucking nodding. I'm like, literally, does any kid in here have candy? You're just in a Coke bar just yelling out, who has cocaine? You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm falling out. Things fall. This is one of the 10 poems. When you win a National Poetry Award thing, they don't read everyone's book and say, oh, of the 200 books we read and evaluated, we like this one the best. They read a finite number of poems. So in this case, you sent them 10 poems at a time. I didn't take out that part. When they told me, I thought they were going to say like, your poetry just isn't very good. And that was me. It was like professional poets. That was me. They were like, you're fucking amazing. You won the award. Can we buy you dinner? Here's $500. It made me nauseous. I was kind of like, what? Oh, I got weak knee. And I'm okay with bullets flying around. Linebackers. Things fall. This is the time of the year that you have waited for, and now it is here.
thousands of shades of green, at least thousands, and yellows and greens that are becoming yellow. A few leaves have fallen, but it's still early in the fall. No real hint of the barrenness of winter to come. Winter seems so far away. Summer, with its oppressive heat and its thick, deep south humidity, seems so far away. The clouds of white with hints of gray are painted on a true blue dream of a sky. They're moving with the breeze, very breezy in gusts. The sound of those first leaves tumbling across the street, blowing on the trees, falling off through the air. Lucky, I say to the birds flying by. That first sign of red and orange on the big trees. Such bucolic beauty this suburb, if you ignore the car sounds and houses. McMansions mixed in with older brick homes. Clunk! My neighbor's portable b-ball goal just blew over. Hard to ignore that. Even that was on theme, I guess, the theme being think small. Thank you, I'm Han Vance. Mark J. Fountain.
Awesome.
I love you, Mark. I love you, Bert.
All right, something I can't tell from here, it sounds like it's working. Is it working?
I don't hear it through the PA right now. Try the other one.
Oh, the battery's
Like that.
done.
This one.
Better yet.
It's rocking.
Okay. First poem I'm going to read is the title of my first book of poems, called Left Wanting More. If you think about the concept for a moment, left wanting more, brings a lot of things to mind, doesn't it? Left wanting more is not always a bad thing. The common dream, though, is not to be left this way. On a fair day, it could be said something was good, maybe even fine, which is not to imply it was incomplete or insufficient. Even when it is extraordinary, you could still be left wanting more. Not to fill a gaping lack, but to grow older in the vivid presence of already dreamed of, but yet unborn phantoms. To open a hint of a promise of a journey somewhere else. Someplace marvelous, where sunflowers ascend blue winds, pierce the firmament, you can't get it out. Anyway, pierce the firmament of the banal, that so dampens delight and surprise in favor of the unfinished and the dismal same that truly do leave you in the worst way wanting more.
All right.
Do you know Vic Burns?
Firmament.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't know if I've ever met
You don't
him.
have to. He lives in near Chad.
He's a killer performer.
Y'all have to hang out.
I like his stuff
He's
a lot.
coming soon.
It'd be good to see him.
I want to link you guys up. He's having a show at I think Star Wars. I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
He just did. Can I interject for 1 second? Sure. Here's what Vic. You guys remember the poem I just read? Vic just posted something where it's written on the wall that says it's not poetry, but it's just the trees are about to show you how lovely it is to let things go.
Mm-hmm. Amen to that.
The driveway. I lived out in the country for a long time before I moved into Atlanta. I had this old driveway that I had put down by hand. I've got tons and tons of salvaged bricks and made an old driveway out of it. After a while, it got pretty worn and ragged. I was about to sell a house, and people talked me into taking it up and putting some cement down so it looked more respectable to the people that might want to buy the house. So this is to the driveway. The uneven old brick road is wavy and lumpy, according to some discrepant, if not decrepit, moss between its toes. Forces that be soon will set cement in that space, and though I grasp the reasons why, I want them to die. For something primal rises in me, some force of nature, unpredictable, uncontrollable. That new solid impermeable surface will intrude into the living green and surrounding handmade walls of stone, promising to control water and time. But something aboriginal rises in me, something to protect what is still wild, some defiant force of nature. Something rises in me against the taming and the pacifying, some Sisyphusian fury, insolent, though it knows that all rise up, disappear. Like some curator of things ephemeral, some voyeur at play that makes no sense. Something rises up in me, something up against extinction, pissing into the winds of what will come to pass.
All right.
Mark's books are awesome.
Thank you.
I love your books.
I like to write a lot of poems about poetry. I like to write about words, sentences, and language, and things like this. This is a poem about poetry. It's called Often a Poet's Best Friend. Claiming their autonomy, sometimes words just flow unfeathered, and you don't know where they're going or what it means when acorns are buried in rich dirt, covered with leaves, never to be found again by twitchy squirrels that put them there despite their constant searching. Sometimes words are mercury or ether, and they rise and breathe, hang in the air, and dance like vapor, going where they please, sailing nocturnal avenues on the other side of dreams where ghost orchids sing. Their nascent flowing lines, often bloomless, shapeless refrains, meandering like nomads, looking for a momentary home, playfully adrift of the hope of scheme or sense. Their flux, the possibility of riffs that never form, freedom's battle, costing nothing but the time it takes to let them wander, the faith to follow their journey, or just a blindness to that faith. I'm going riffing for a spell. Maybe I'll stumble into a poem.
All right.
Let's keep it going for our book designer and a good. Are you still going?
No, I'm done.
Mark J. LaFountain. His fountain can run it over.
Why waste time on the mic?
That was a little charcoal question they had. It was why waste time on the mic? They like sample themselves. And there we go. Why waste? Why waste? Remember that band?
Yeah.
A-Tribe Called Quest?
Mhm.
They're fucking good. I think A Tribe Called Quest, Outkast, and Public Enemy are the best three rap bands of all time. And if anyone would like to debate, call me.
Best.
The best in
2
the.
out of 3 ain't bad.
But you know the Arch of University of Georgia? It stands for wisdom, justice, and moderation. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. It literally does. It's also the seal of Georgia. I awoke refreshed, a palpable calm and desire to live unwild washed over me on September 1st. August 28th, I got my first helmet since football. August 29th at midnight, I was perched at the Palomar and pink champagne popped. The skyline glowed, southern sun shone next morn. She and I, my true love, adjourned to pool party, celebrating 40. The 30th and 31st, I rested, performing minimally, sleeping off my 30s. September, I awoke refreshed. I was a man in fullback then. Half stepper. Hearted, I have a lot of heart and it pumps blood. My quill, I drill through my chest plate, deep into myself, and I spurt onto the page. Real art is in the rewrite. I judge this art and tell this smart. I do with purpose, try hard. Talked to Tom the other day, first time in a long while. He asked what I was doing. I said editing. He said, "You put your heart in it." Different Tom, not Tom Cheshire. But let's hear what Tom had to say about something. Since we have him here with us, he's working a night job. I hate when the great fucking talents, like myself and Tom, like going to teach kids as a substitute teacher is not somehow I hate this shit. It's thank you, God, for this opportunity to save one fucking life, to touch one child in a way that his life is improved today. Every day when I ride my bike, I'm just like so filled with fucking try. It's unfucking believable. I'm like, God, if I can impact one person today, please let me change his life. Thank you for letting me. Thank you so much for letting me ride 40 fucking minutes in the rain to go teach these kids today. Fuck the administrators, fuck the other teachers, fuck poetry. Thanks, Laura. I never heard anyone say that. She's like, pure poetry. I was like, yeah, girl. But yeah, so in June, I was working for Emory Sports Fitness Camp, and I was doing that same thing. And I had this beautiful woman I was dating, oh my God, deeply in love. I hadn't fallen in love in 16 years. So I didn't know what the fuck. I was in morning at Virgo, everything's always new to me. We're going. Which is one thing I like about my life. I can just find, I like the way that wall has been spacked. I've never seen that before. You know what I mean, Lee? I just like the way those leaves are hissing and crunchy. No, I never heard it quite like that. But in July, I had money. I had procured $20,000 investment in my TV show. And I had lost Heather because Heather said, oh yeah, I know you have to date, somebody. I'm married and no, I have to date. So but when I did, she freaked out. So Jamie, she's Japanese name, and I dated ass like Kayla, by the way. No lie. I don't even know which one of them has a better ass. They're both in their 40s. I had her. I had this job teaching all these Emory kids, and Heather kind of came back. And then I had nobody and nothing to do. Oh, this is not okay. Like but what I realized is when I ride and I talk to myself about helping these kids, I'm not doing that for me. I'm doing that for them. I'm saying, Coach, when you get in here, pump love energy out of your fucking heart like E.T. It's so big. And the kids are just all like, Coach! And, the kids know me. I've taught at 27 different schools, but in my primary schools, I'm the most popular fucking teacher at the schools. Because when I walk around, everyone's like, Coach Vance, Coach Vance. Hey, Coach Vance's Fancy Pants. Because I'm developing a children's book called Mr. Vance's Fancy Pants. And the sequel, Coach Vance, still wears fancy pants. But I tell them about it, I get new covers, but I was coaching me. You know what I mean, Troy? I wasn't trying to coach me. I was trying to coach me to be the good teacher. But when I stopped doing that, and I didn't have a big booty or big movies or any brunettes, and I was just like, what the fuck does one do? Literally. What does one do? It was too hot in my apartment. What does one do, Luther? What? When there's nothing to, that's why everyone in LA is so fucking touched. Because in between projects they sit around and go, what does one do? When I was working on my show, editing it, I was doing okay. Then I'd send it off to the editor and I would just sit there and go, I would have never chosen it intentionally, Wayne. If I knew I was going to be off in July, I would have planned a trip. I would have written a book about hiking something. You know what I mean? I would have done something. Gone somewhere and wrote a fucking book about it. Done something. When I took the job with Emory, I didn't realize there were no July hours. Because the other job at Piedmont Park I applied for was June and July. So I was like, where's the other hours? And and normally one who's not working might be like, I'm a little worried about money. That's $20K. All my rent was paid for 4 months. With $15,000 left over. I realized though, there's something about this doing. There's something about this helping people that is bigger than helping the people. Does that make sense? You're helping. Does that make sense, Trev?
Oh yeah.
And the helping yourself, because I wasn't like, I'm trying to coach myself. I was very selfless when I was biking in the rain 40 hours to teach a kid and going, thank you so much for this opportunity, God. It's dark out. I'm so fucking happy. When I first got the job, I wasn't even living in Atlanta. I was trying to relocate, didn't know where I was going. And I was looking at my best friend and I were looking at his mom's house down near the Brave Stadium. It didn't be too expensive. She wasn't too much for it. And I got booked originally to teach in Atlanta. I applied in Atlanta and college. I got booked to Atlanta. And then I would go there, and it was Cumberland. If you've ever biked around the Cumberland area, you could be, I mean, it has made me strong. Biking around the Cumberland area. I've been teaching at North Atlanta High this year, and I finally made it up the one big hill. You know, I've ridden up 100 times. The 99th time, I was like, don't look up. If you see how far you have to go, you're not gonna make it. But if you just go, I'm gonna just cry. I'm gonna keep doing this until I reach the plateau. I finally made it. That's the key. It's you don't. You're walking into the gates of hell. Don't look. Don't look now. But that area really made me strong. And then I stayed at my mom's house for a while. I biked 30 minutes in the dark to Kennesaw State University. Throw my bike on the front of a bus in the dead of winter. Send my mom's guest. Bus into the city. Bus to a school that I'd have to find in the dark, in the hood, whatever. Teach. Eat candy if possible. Reverse skate and do it. Guess what? I fucking loved it. I would be on that bus so fucking happy. I'd be like, it's all warm in there. I've been all cold. And I've already worked out. It's dark, and I roll into the city, all the fucking lights, and I'm loving there now. And it was Atlanta calling me back. So I tried to move to the edge. Pull me back. Pull me back in, Travis. Pull me back. Pull me back, man. What do you guys think about that? I'm just talking tonight, right? I'm not even doing fucking poems. Your friends died? It's over. Look back at Chill. His dead, chemical pumped body in the casket. My pain, both blue and white, and said, I guess we'll call it even on the Friday. He owed me for my gambling winnings. When his daughter recently contacted me about my art empowerment work I do for painters. It was the day I'd written of Jeff in a footballish story article. She has my fish painting in her room at Georgia. Dad gave it to her. I recalled so much. Too much, really. You miss him, don't you? You fucking miss him, man. When they OD, when they fucking kill themselves, you fucking miss them. Jesus Christ. You miss them. This is the old. If I were to write about being 24, looking at the grand old age of 25, approaching and had that feeling of confident energy, it would basically be the old poetry of prolonged, rimbo-esque, Kerouacian and youth. This is the new, where I stopped diving so deeply into every gutter of Christmases past, glory or defeating misadventure, old reflections outgrown, reclamation project called self. Note to self, start living in the now of God's abundance, Han Vance. And in edit, I realized I've done it. Mostly with only a few hiccups, like 12:23. A quasi-intentional slip. Since first writing that, this then is the essence of homage. Now in flower, power, bloominess, beat burst of now. I don't think it's so great. The kapow, ish upon, which is so me, an apex, super strong is where I belong. In the light. So I'm just writing this shit for me, man. Who's ready? Who wants to follow that? Luther? So we 30 poems?
Yeah, I've got some.
There's 30. Sylvia, that's so great. Hey, Vance. You look awesome. By the way, you look great. My book is off the market. It was given to Sylvia. Sorry, man. The trade is off. That was the availability of my one book in print. Luther? More rank.
Well, I've always got
with them.
I know, this is very shit.
Well, I don't know.
Some of your dirty shit's pretty good. Luther has scandalized some fucking people a couple times. And these Athens girls were all like, I'm gonna go stand over here, and he's writing about girl parts. I said, man, he ain't into you. He's into me. She's like, what do you mean? He's gay? Duh. Idiot.
Okay, this is something out of the, I've got a bunch of folders at home. I've got one that's really thick that says, done it L5P. And my goal is to not repeat myself while I'm coming here. And I've got another one called the D list, which is, well, there's one that's coins of varying qualities, and then there's the D list, which is just the rest of them. And I don't know where I got this, but this is just something I don't know, I imagine I have performed it. And this, on the back of it, this is I used to make these backlit pictures out of stickers, and I would do my plan for it. I would, do the, final plan before I started to assemble them, and I'd print it out. That's what that is. But this other side, dissolute, demeanor, seedy smile, gleam, intense, collusive conversation, dysphagic groans, oxygenate density, bilious murk, phosphorescent scum, spumous dump in a toilet cubicle, grotesquely pink chemical soap, psychic sturdiness fundamental, obsession with suicide ideation, sudsy nondescript handsome wodge, incontinent heteronormative generica, ungainly fellatio ordinary trauma, ruthless helplessness disintegration, reiterate mnemonic collateral gaze. I was wondering, some of these, I think I ought to go back and just rework these as sonnets or villanelles, try to retrofit some rhymes onto them. This is another, this is another villanelle. In the happy house when your soul is true, comforting body of water to see, boo depends on painting the water so blue. Whispering cloudy secrets to tell you, go mingle my soul and soak me up free. In the happy house when your soul is true. You're in the right church, but the wrong pew. Go seek the dancer, but not the patsy. Boo depends on painting the heart so blue. Each drop of his blood cries out for the brew. Leave behind the sour and bitter tea. In the happy house when your soul is true. Escape your dark highway for barbecue. Celebrate eating honey from the bee. Boo depends on painting the heart so blue. Let the beauty we love be what we do. Drain your desire till the cup carries me. In the happy house when your soul is true, boo depends on painting the heart so blue.
All right.
All right. That's about it. Is anybody
Is
else?
that it? B, you gonna get up there?
Yeah,
I don't do words.
I got you.
No?
Rocks, wood, and.
You run out of lies. You run out of lies. Promises. Words.
Name it, anyone.
First part was ministry, the second part was Fugazi.
Oh, I couldn't.
Wing, I bet you haven't run out of words.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Promises.
God bless you.
Have you ever, if you haven't, I highly recommend the Fugazi album, 13 Songs.
Oh, yeah.
The best hardcore album of all time, in my humble opinion, which I'm right.
Promises. Words.
You know what I mean? I don't think I'm listening to that. But after I listened to it, Wing!
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, thanks for sticking around. All right, I'm going to do one poem from each of the three sections here. This is called Whitewater Falls. It's a place in South Carolina. This is where ancient people came to worship. I can see it in the eyes of the people I pass on the asphalt path, heading back to their cars, as the roaring through the trees rises steadily to a crescendo, and it comes suddenly into view. This is what ancient people came here to worship, I can see. Not the water itself, or the constant thunder of its falling. Not even the unseen power that makes it fall. That God nowadays known as gravity. But the nameless awe that lives in human awe.
Yeah. I love
I'm
that.
going to back up. The nameless deity that lives in human awe. The wonder that each of us unknowingly carries around inside until we round a bend in the path and see through a gap in the foliage who that booming voice belongs to. But this, I can see, is why ancient people came to worship here. This ceaseless flow out of the looming escarpment of the Blue Ridge, crashing down from its towering cliff into the depths it has hollowed out of solid granite over millennia. An irrefutable truth, utterly independent of me and my kind, world without end. Amen.
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 Whitewater Falls.
I like that. That awe.
And from the middle section, this is Asphalt Nights. Looking back now, I often regret that night in my delinquent youth when I impulsively borrowed a shovel and buried my memories of childhood down by the creek under a full moon. How was I to know the entire floodplain would be paved for parking when they built the new lawn? Night after night now I dream I'm a lost child, roaming mile after mile of fresh black asphalt under the floodlights between the slumbering cars, kicking my shadow ahead with every step, stopping to listen at every storm drain for the faint trickle or drip of some other world to wake up in.
Yeah.
Thank you. And this one is the enemy logo. The gas station signs glow above the treetops along the highway, brighter than the moon, eclipsing the sun, gleefully mocking our desperate addiction to anything that burns. History, suicidal hijackers in the cockpit of the nation, a ship with its rudder welded to the keel, decent, honest citizens serving a machine that's programmed to devour them the instant it gets cheaper than feeding them. We've been bombing ourselves with nuclear waste for decades now, cooking the atmosphere for centuries, breathing airborne particles of incinerated old growth, greedily burning everything we can steal. Progress? A child playing on a precipice. A vast, proud, imperial civilization, mistaking a way of life for life itself. The most luxurious palaces that ever collapsed into a rapid surf. Finally, we have no choice but to begin burning the furniture, setting fire to heaps of plastic toys and synthetic clothing, the flames giving off just enough light to see this darkness. If we only dare to open our eyes. Can I do one more?
Please, Wayne. I love your work, by the way. It's
I
great.
hate to end on that note.
Space on them.
Also, if you guys don't know the Land Trust, you should. It's a free park area. People live there. People take care of it. But Land Trust is real cool in Lake Claire.
Yeah,
I
it's,
never knew about it until I knew David Jockers, my family friend, you know, who would always come to Thanksgiving with my folks and got me to come down there and hang out with and stuff.
Yeah, I used to live down the block from me.
I think I remember seeing you hanging about.
Yeah, I'm always about. I get back there frequently, and it's if you don't know, it's when you go east on McClendon, you cross Clifton and you come to the top of a hill, and Arizona Avenue turns to the right,
Keep
and
going.
it's right at the dead end of Arizona Avenue, overlooking DeKalb Avenue. And
There's
be
no
there.
like entrance.
But
You
they
just
built
go on
up so
there.
much stuff, you
Yeah,
can't
you
see
park
the
on the street.
sunset. When I lived there, I'd climb up that hill
Yeah.
and drink wine and watch the sunset.
Oh,
And
yeah.
They put a whole bunch of freaking condos and, but it's still.
Yeah, they spoiled the view, but it's still a hill overlooking the sunset.
Yeah.
And it's
Go ahead.
we'll be there. It's Wednesday, the last Wednesday of the month, the 23rd.
What time?
7 to 9
Oh, 7 to
on the
9.
stage there, and come if you can.
Is there any listing of that on Facebook?
The Land Trust website has it.
Oh, the Land
Yeah, the
Trust
Land Trust has a Facebook site. It should be on there. I don't get over to Facebook very much. All right, this is Pushing the Peace Bus. True story. Pushing the Peace Bus was hardest on the third try. Feeling a little like the old bus as we stumbled, choking on its unsuccessful smoke. Never quite catching the necessary breath. The houses on the old street hardly noticing. Spent, sprawled, winded and panting, pretty soon we began to feel the trees. A still surrounding presence, arch of limbs from both sides of the street commingling above us. Leafy memory of woods to the horizon. As we rested, looking up, their roots a living tangle in the dark beneath us. We gave the fourth try everything we had. 1 block from the dead end sign, the black arrow pointing us east or west. We bent to the bumper, leaning clear to the pavement, our feet a living tangle, muscles moving somehow together. 10 cases of slightly bruised organic apples on the roof, the rice and lentils, firewood, pots and pans, big jugs of water, all of it somehow moving together, faster till the clutch popped and smoke backfired in our faces again. And the peace bus was chugging once more over the fallen shadows of branches, through the temples of sun. We caught up with the stop sign and climbed aboard. The bus turned the corner, choosing west, leaving a pledge and prayer to the trees in its drifting and dissolving smoke.
Yeah.
A little bit better, Andy.
Good job, man.
Thank you so much.
Great job. I have to hang out with you some more, and I definitely want to go to the Land Trust thing. Let's try to remind each other.
Yeah, Wednesday the 23rd.
Wednesday the 23rd. I have daughter dinner on Wednesdays now, kind of as we finally got a regular kind of quasi-scheduled one. And that's right when it would just, she wants to eat and bust. Go do homework and whatever. Because she's 13. No, I still get her to stay with me, but additionally, dinner once a week. But it's not, let's hang out for a couple hours. She's just like, Mom's outside taking a business call. What do we got? I'm totally okay with it. Because I'm like, I want to see, like some of the Jersey folk from my first marriage. Yeah, the one uncle, who I think he was probably some type of organized crime or something of that nature. But, you know, it's Jersey City, Hoboken. Jersey City Heights. He would come around and, no one knows what he does, but he dresses nice. But he would always come and just, yeah, come in and good to see you. And everyone would these people would hang around each other endlessly. All they talked about was food, which I thought was awesome. At the end of every meal, guess what they discuss? The next meal.
Oh.
Every meal. And it's like, oh yeah, you guys just want to, let's just do something simple. Yeah, you guys want to do sandwiches? You guys want to do sandwiches? Yeah. You go to the baker, you go to the cheese shop, you go to the meat shop. Yeah, you know what I mean? I'll make our own mayo. They were like, and you'd be like, that's a lot for like a sub, and then until you did it.
Yeah.
You'd be like, I'm coming in my pants. I'm trying to gain 12 pounds this weekend. I would literally go out there and put on like, on a 4-day weekend, I would eat both like blow for blow with my ex-wife's, cousin in my marriage, who pretty much like ate himself to death. And I would just and I would usually be like, the most I ever gained was gained 14 pounds one weekend. That's not a good food. We were driving home and I was just like, every fast food restaurant I would pass, I'd be like, I'm craving fat. And just because I'm eating. It's really fucking good. Those people are awesome. You just go to the bread shop. You not even the same person was getting the cheese and meat. Go to the fucking, cheesemonger. You go to they were learning about religion, but you go to the cheesemonger, you go to the guy that, kills his own pigs and makes and grinds.
Well, but that's the kosher plan, though.
Yeah.
I mean, one person handles the cheese, one person
Yeah,
handles
it wasn't about that. It was about who makes the single best fucking piece of cheese in this area. Who makes the single best sopressata. Don't want to think about doing both things at once while I'm trying to concentrate on finishing this little book. Not liquor shots, smoking hot. Your utter delicious wetness. I digress. Well, it's been said I could eat a peach for hours. Best not while driving. I did not drive when I read that. But that was, someone else was doing the driving. You guys got that one?
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. Oh, the married life. I used to corporate travel too, in a Honda generally, not a corporate jet. Wheels up, my wife, today to DC, the District of Columbia, which could mean SC of the SEC. To me, I'm so old. Just a simple Southern football fan, man, rider at work in a coffee house. You see me grinding, brewing a Colombian, in tribute to her, dedicated to my beautiful, sweet little big tit boss. She's saying wheels up, or what's it? Yeah, I don't even know the phrase. Whoever's the highest ranking,
I'm gonna scoot.
thank you. Whoever's the highest ranking corporate affiliate in the jet is the one who gets to say, wheels up. And she finally had been the highest ranking person on the jet. The Cox Enterprises corporate jet, they were taking DC, of course, to say, wheels up. I was like, Colombian. But I was thinking about chickens, football. We're on a different page.
Yeah. That happens a lot.
Yeah, that's what being married is all about. Being on a different page, but staying on the same page. Yous get the cheese, yous get the sopressata. You know what sopressata is? A super fatty pork sliced meat.
Sopressata.
Yeah, sopressata. It's like spongy. So I don't eat pork anymore, but it's fucking good. It was like you'd gone this level and you went, you're just chewing a bunch of fat. That's good. Speedboat. Speedboat faster than this because you know what that's called? The wake. Those little waves they make. Speedboat 2. Do I have to wait for another boat to come by, to have a boat in my eye? Or can I spy a big boat blasting around the bend? Fasting, faster, fastest, my friend, when I pretend and send these words with my pen. Speedboat 3, the speedboat blasting in the water with the trees falling down, or a peaceful day out of town. You get to make it up. I don't do a lot of fiction, but I tried a little there. Woodpecker, driftwood, beach drilling the way I do you, called to me, my friend, are huge. Georgia could be heard all the way atop this mountain, or in my gritty, pretty city. Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite a place. Georgia's a very special state. I was in the Sunshine State this weekend. It's special. Florida's a unique and special place. Georgia's a very special place. There are a handful of states. Every place has something cool. There are a handful of states that are fucking special.
Georgia and Florida are two of them. Yeah?
Yeah.
They're interesting. Who's ever been to the Georgia-Florida game, the world's largest outdoor cocktail party?
I haven't been to it.
Oh, God. You have to do that. So they're going to do it next year. It's always played in Jacksonville, a 50-50 game. It's kind of like Mardi Gras and football.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot going on. People dress in costumes, and they'll be like dragging like some gator dog. Will you kick my gator, sir? There'll be some 70-year-old man. Sir, would you mind to stomp my gator, please? There'll be like gator pimps, dog pimps. People go out. It's something else. You wouldn't even have to be drinking anymore to enjoy. In fact, you might remember quite a bit more.
Maybe.
The dancing, though, the dancing's better when drinking.
Thank you.
Workaday, the preciousness of your thoughts won't be conveyed in the writing unless you're a master. And all masters became masters by working at it. So long that they long knew this. It's an exercise in futility. It's a letting go. It's a reworking. It's an investigation into self, where every one book could fill a shelf. It's just work. Thank you, I'm Han Vance. Anybody else? I think we should call it, guys.
Let me get up there and break the rules.
After
Which one of these
our feature poet comes back to Little Five Poetry backstage, the lovely and talented man in the overalls. These are his city overalls he wears when he's going places. I love this fucking fit. Well, I want to copy this fit. Black man's. I might rock like a pink polo with it. I have to go another or no shirt. Or do you have no shirt? It's a pretty
I
damn.
have a flash color.
Pretty damn good fit. Get your lime green. Travis, thanks for doing this.
So I'm going to break the rules in a way before we get out of here in a couple of ways actually. First, I'm going to read a poem that I wrote that I love, and I'm a musician. I said earlier I couldn't stop doing this. I can't stop doing this.
Do whatever you want.
Another one of the things that I do is I'm a musician. So far as I can tell, I can play any instrument. Anything that I've tried to play, I can play.
My dad was like that.
Without lessons or anything like that. If you give it to me long enough, I'm gonna fiddle around. I might not be playing it the way the person you saw playing the instrument plays it, but I play the instrument, especially stringed instruments. But here's my bit on music. Most music isn't on the radio. It isn't on LPs or EPs or CDs or MP3s. It isn't on cassette. Most music isn't on the internet either. It's on back porches and around campfires. It's in schoolrooms and churches. Most music is made by common people. It is a tune that you whistle while you're at work. It is whispered by a mother to her child. Music is all around us, in each and everything. From the howl of the wolf to the rhythm of a butterfly wing. Such a gift have we, sent down from up above, the song that the angels sing. Hallelujah, God is love. Woo!
It's true though. It's true though.
We can't classify, there's so many things in genre and stuff like that, but we can't really classify that gift in such a way personally. It causes a lot of consternation. That's really just a trick of the music industry. So that's what the record industry was about, was selling records. And so now there's been a disturbance in the course, and so we're putting things out free. But that's also flooding the market with a whole lot of people. I think all in all it's a good thing because people need to be able to have a voice. So I'm going to break the rules. And I'm going to do a song.
First for you, Travis. You're allowed.
First I'm going to do one in a spoken form. So I have a song called A Nippin' in Your Gravel Drum. Actually, I came up with a concept when I was at Shiloh High School that you could walk up and ask people, pardon me, I believe there's a nippin' in your gravel drum. And then you would talk to the person and find out what they thought you were talking about, right? And because these are nonsense words. But these aren't words that mean nothing. These are words that mean everything. So I would come up with someone and then let them have an interpretation of what the words meant. Like 80% of people often thought it was a sexual innuendo. Is there a nipping in your gravel grown? It's actually not a leading question, but many people thought it was. So this is, there's a nipping in your gravel grown. Just because you can't hear my words doesn't mean that I don't exist in an infinite range of ecliptic orbit around the fading star you refer to as the sun. I am not Elvis. Red is a color, black is a shade, white is almost clear, and you are a person. I stand alone, feeling devilishly angelic, holding a singular black candle, lighting your way through the long and dark hallway of life. Suddenly, a brilliant flash of blinding light. It's everybody. The whole world is here, having a party in an 8 by 17 foot trailer, parked outside a former nuclear biological after effect testing site. Heat is drying the fruits and vegetables until they aren't much of anything, excepting, of course, furniture, or very small laboratory testing rodents. That's on YouTube. People look it up. They've been grown good. Look at the belly also. And so, this last little bit, I've been talking a bit about tonight about how things in our lives occur, and then you can't do much about that thing. You can't stop that thing. It is what it is. I heard a real wise saying once from Ragnar Lothbrok on the TV show Vikings, as he told his sons, don't spend too much time looking back. We're not headed that way. I thought that was a pretty good poem in and of itself. So I'm going to break 2 rules right now. This is not a music format, and I didn't write this, but this is really important. Because one of the things that shapes a lot of us is domestic violence. We grow up with little things when we're kids, and we don't even know about them. We can't explain them. We don't know what's what. People sometimes can't get along. They have a hard time with things. You can't really explain it. There's no way you can judge someone else. Earlier I was making a comparison, and I left off the end of it when the leaves were falling, and I thought I could look at the leaves and I could tell that the wind was blowing. But you know that we're standing on a rock that's spinning 1,000 miles an hour and traveling around the sun at over 17,000 miles an hour. The wind is not blowing. The earth is spinning at an amazing rate. The air is clinging to the earth with all its might and slipping away. The wind is not blowing. I'm not a judge. I couldn't see this. I'm looking at leaves falling. The wind's blowing, right? The wind's blowing today, but it's not blowing. That's how poor of a judge I am. We went to the Bible earlier. I'm a guy. I wear overalls, right? I wear overalls. I used to wear a lot of Doc Martens, right? I like a lot of working man stuff. I come from an Scots-Irish family, and very proud, working hard people. Nobody gave me nothing, all that kind of stuff, right? And so, as working people, you know, hard things happen to you in your life, and you just try to get up and go back to work. You got bills to pay, you got kids, you got stuff to do, and domestic violence comes, it shakes people, it sneaks up on people. I don't think anybody gets married thinking I'm going to beat the hell out of this person one day, but it happens. And when you're a little kid and you go through stuff like that, there ain't no way on earth you're going to be able to categorize that or put a genre on it or come up with anything like that. But when you get a little bit older, you might gain a little wisdom, a little perspective, realize that you really, really don't know much. And I've made some really horrible choices. I haven't made that choice, but Tracy Chapman wrote this right here. Last night I heard the screaming, loud voices behind the wall. Another sleepless night for me. It won't do no good to call the police. They only come late if they come at all. And when they arrive, they say they can't interfere with domestic affairs. It's between a man and his wife. And as they walk out the door, the tears well up in her eyes. Last night I heard screaming, and then a silence that chilled my soul. I prayed that I was dreaming, And the policeman said, I'm just here to keep the peace. With a crowd dispersed, I think we all could use some sleep. Last night I heard screaming, loud voices behind the wall. Another sleepless night for me. Won't do no good to call the police. They only come late if they come at all. Woo-hoo! Thanks, Rob. 2 rules broken.
So,
Poetry
I'm
night.
actually get on the mic for it. I ain't even really I was doing this tonight. I just happened to stumble in.
That's a blessing.
Yes, sir. Where's the other gentleman that normally is here, that hosted?
He's around.
He's out of commission.
Oh, Ross.
Really?
Rosser, yeah.
He still does it, or is he?
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna say much, man. I'm just a little caffeined up. I ain't gonna lie. Might as well put it to some use.
Amen.
With an instrument in my head, so I can say some stuff. What's up? How y'all doing this evening?
Doing good, doing
I
good.
appreciate y'all allowing me to just crash the moment.
Glad you're here.
So check it. Every second I'm finding myself to be at better positions of making a better impression, understanding this my session and my internal as far as whatever I'm petitioning. It's not necessarily giving 2 cares on what others trying to depicting when I'm coming through with whatever I'm positioning. I know that life can have its struggles, but that's the time we gotta get out here and just flex our muscle. Never let nothing tussle us till we're giving up. Nah, this is something that we gotta continue to serve ourselves like a syrup and with pancakes. Just trying to be a man that demands to be great. There's nothing else to really try to ever encounter. As long as I'm a monster, doing just whatever I want to, like Frank Sinatra. I've got my own way that I'm living. It's a lingo and it's a given. I'm so significant in my presence, cannot get too about how others address it. I'm trying not to use certain words that's considered cursing. So with these here verses, I'm just letting you see how urgent that I splurge this. Letting you see when it comes down to this, I'm like a doctor, a surgeon. And there's always these moments that I be loving to seize. And best to believe it all come from the D-O-M-E, meaning don't, meaning my nugget, meaning my head. So please don't try and come. I don't know, I'm just talking. But yeah,
All right.
got some great listeners though, thank y'all, you know what I'm saying? Sean Dawn in the building.
Yeah, Sean.
Thank you, man.
All right, man. Thank you.
Sean Don, he ain't the Sean John.
Sean, yo, appreciate that.
Sean Don, everybody.
All right.
This has been a great night. What the fuck,
Oh gosh, I like how we get such a mix. I like how we get such a mix.
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna fucking throw hits until shit gets crazy high like a lazy eye. Sit around, die, do nothing all day. Then come to the stage, dress gay, and word sprays play while you do like ass cheeks start running me. Do shit 7 days a week. I don't listen to one bad at a time. Not to mention, my poems don't rhyme. They beach twitch, glisten his spit. The shat I spat is just that it I spill the roll into your brain until you went insane. Oh, you already are? Then let's go to the bar, cuz I'm a star. Travis Hill, give it up.
Thanks, y'all.
Trav.
Good to see y'all.
It's good to see everybody tonight. Thanks for coming out. Sean Dawn,
You.
Lula McKinnon, Marte LaFountain, Pound Mid Run Over.
Listening, by the way.
Again, Travis Hill, our feature, the lovely and talented Silvia Passiflora. We got some folks here tonight.